Hello everybody, today is the 21st of July and I'm gonna tell the pen story. The pen story is a wisdom that has been carried on for 1,000 years from a very ancient wisdom. And it's actually was modernized and make Gishi Roshi is actually the one that has modernized that teaching, that wisdom, and transform it into a pen story. Those wisdom into a pen story so that it is more approachable for us and easier for us to understand. So let's get into what the national wisdom is about and why it is, why it is so why this is so strong that and powerful that the wisdom actually carry for thousands of years. So let's get started, okay? What is this? It's a pen. What do we use a pen for? To write. Now there's a dog inside the room. I'm gonna wave this in front of the dog. What does the dog do? The dog probably will sniff, lick, or chew this, right? Does the dog see this one as a pen? No. So for the dog, this one is not a pen, but for the human, this one is a pen. So who is correct, the dog or the human? The answer is both correct. For the dog, this one is a chewing toy, but for the human, this one is a pen to write. The dog is correct in the dog world, the human is also correct in the human world. So that is our first lesson, both are correct. Now, let's imagine that there is a table in front of me, so I'm going to put this thing on the table. And then both the dog and I will walk out of the room. So inside the room, there'll be no human, no dog. What does this thing become? If it's still a pen or chewing toy, it becomes almost nothing. And the ancient wisdom called this one as the emptiness. The emptiness is actually a very magical definition. As we understand the emptiness, we'll be able to achieve anything in our life. Just like Yeshua Gorosh applied the emptiness into his business and was able to build a business with revenue of $250 million a year. He is also able to have several refugees. So what is the emptiness? Why is that so magical? Let's go back to the pen story, okay? So this thing is currently on the table, and when there is no human, no dog, nothing to interact with, it is almost nothing, and we call it the emptiness. Now, when I go back to the room and I look at this becomes a pen. When the dog come back to the room and the dog look at this becomes a chewing toy. And when both the dog and I come back to the room at the very same time, and we both look at this at the very same time, what does this thing becomes? Becomes two things, a pen for me and a chewing toy for the dog. So a single thing when there is no human, no dog, or nothing to interact with, it comes back to a true self and we call it the emptiness. But because it has the emptiness, it also has the potential to become anything or anyone, depending on who or what is looking at that at the very moment. So that is our second lesson. Along with the emptiness, we all have limitless potential. Now, I see this as a pen. So does this pen coming from me or does this pen coming from the thing itself? This pen is actually coming from me. Why am I so certain? Because if this thing is a pen, is selling the dog or anything in this entire universe, we have to see it for what it is, which is a pen. But does the dog see this one as a pen? No. So this pen is actually coming from me. This pen is actually coming from my mind, and everything is actually coming from our mind. So that is our third lesson. Everything is actually coming from our mind. Now we all agree that this pen is coming from my mind, right? So I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to think this one become a diamond, okay? So please pray with me. Diamond, diamond, diamond. Open my eyes. It's still a pen. So what in my mind that forced me to see this as a pen but not a diamond? They all sit inside our mind that the ancient wisdom calls God. When we see something that sit inside our mind pop up, open up and cover this and made us see it for what had been planted earlier into our mind. So who planted those seed into our mind in the first place? Only you can plant the seed into your mind and only I can plant the seed into my mind. How can we do it? We do it by three ways, by our word, by our action, by our thoughts, especially toward other people. So for instance, I'm going to hold on to this. I'm going to say that I have the pen. Would you like to have this pen? And when my friend say yes, please, I'd be so happy to give this to my friend with the hope that I can help my friend. So when I give this to my friend, this palm will open up and both me and my friend will see it. And it's totally remark in my mind. A couple days later, when I see this, I recognize this one as a pen, which means that the seed of the pen is all been planted into my mind. And I pop up and open up and cover this and make me see this as a pen. And this is how a pen become a pen, or anything surround us become what and who they are to us. In the pen story, there are several meaningful lessons. Today we went over 4 different lessons. The first lesson is both corrupt, so we learn to respect each other's opinion, we learn to respect each other's choices, and we learn to listen to each other with a compassionate heart. And remember what teacher Thinyakad was saying is that, understanding and love is actually the root of happiness. So when we be able to understand each other, we want to be able to love each other, then we'll be able to, give each other the gift of happiness. And with that, we also achieve the happiness in ourselves. And one thing I also want to share with you is that and myself is that, you once I think that in here we have to understand that both. So not just you have to understand other people, but you also have to understand yourself first. And I think that is very important, very critical that you actually have to understand yourself first. Because once you understand yourself, once you love yourself, accept yourself for who you are, that is when you be able to love someone else. Because without the love that actually coming from yourself, without being in love, being happy, you won't be able to share that love, to carry that happiness to other people. So I think it's very important to acknowledge that, it's issue that you need to be happy first, to be happy, to understand you, to love yourself, to accept you for who you are first, before we can move on to understand other people. And that is the first lesson. The second lesson is along with the emptiness, we all have limited potential. So we learn to trust each other potential, we learn to trust each other, a potential to see each other for what we really want us to be. And with that, we move toward that potential. And when we think about it that way, we learn that, also I really, there's something really daunting for me and very, what is blinding for me is that, to understand that we are who we are. We are who we are, the emptiness, we are who we are. But then with different people, we have different potential. So choose what potential you want to see, but then also know that we are who we are. We accept ourselves and be in that loving person or whatever that person that you are trying to be with, different people with different potential or you, and then you reach to that potential. And with the same idea, you treat other people for who they are. Treat them with dignity, treat them with kindness, and then accept them for what they truly are and see the potential in them. So you be able to achieve that, help them to achieve that, and help yourself to see that in that person. So that is the second lesson. And the third lesson being that everything is actually coming from the seed inside our mind. So we'll be 100% responsible to whatever happened to us. We don't blame anyone. And in that, we know to take responsibility for everything, to take charge of our life, because we are the only one who can change our life into whatever that direction we want it to be. So don't look at things and think that okay, I cannot control this, but it's happened. And then I cannot do anything. Yes, everything happened for a reason, but you are also a part of that reason, and you also have the power to change that, to make it into what you want it to be. So always think about that. Okay, think about your responsibility, think about your potential, and how you can change your life into the direction that you want it to be. And that leads us to the fourth lesson, is how we can create or manifest our dream life in a very certain way. So first, knowing what you want to do, what you want to have in your term life, okay, by your by knowing the first, applying the second lesson, the emptiness and the potential. And then you start planting those seeds into your life using your word, your action, your thoughts to other people. So for instance, if you want to have a happiness, then you plant the happiness seed into other people, making other people happier, using your word, your action, your thoughts to other people. If you want to have prosperity, then use your word, your action, your thought, helping other people to be more prosperous. And then if you want to have become wiser, then use your word, your action, your thoughts, helping other people to get wiser. And just like that, whatever that you want to be, or you want to do, or you want to achieve, making sure that you use your word, your action, your thoughts to other people, helping them to get that. What that's it. And that is how you plant the seed into your mind. That is how, the tree gonna grow and you're gonna harvest the fruit from that tree. And with that, I want to share with you the lesson that I learned today is that this is something. So yesterday, for the past 3 days, our family we have family gathering together at in Samsung, and it's our first time going with my husband's side, and it's actually a very fun trip. I really enjoyed it. There's a moment that my kids were fighting, arguing with each other, and keep watching YouTube, which I didn't like, and and then I acted out, which I also didn't like. But then in the end, I think it's a very happy trip. And I feel very fortunate to be able to attend that trip. To have such supportive families, to have, everyone just having fun with each other, enjoy each other company. And I think it's once you put in the love, when you open yourself up to other people, that is when you're gonna start receiving the love, and then other people are gonna start open up themselves to you as well. So that is one thing I learned. And the second thing is that in the end of the trip, I actually got um a muscle spasm. Something like that, muscle contraction, muscle spasm, right in my back, and I couldn't like right now, my neck. You can see that then my neck movement is the range of movement is very little. But then I feel that I received the love from my mother-in-law, my aunt, the in-law family, and my husband. They just really really wonderful, and I feel very supportive. And also is that this morning I decided that this is painful, but I have to move, because without moving I won't be able. I think that it's just gonna get blocked, it's just gonna get right there. It's just gonna be very achy and very painful. So I decided that I'm just gonna move. And I feel very fortunate to be able to move, to run, and then that will help me make me feel a lot better now. Even though it's still stiff, it's still painful, but at least I feel that I'm more flexible and more energetic. So I think that everything, if you see it, and I'm really grateful for the ability to to accept, the blessing from other people, the care from other people as well as myself, to know that I can heal myself in a very certain way. So thank you so much for listening to me today. Thank you, and love for me the 2000-day journey, and I hope that he is having a fantastic time with his family. And and then if by me telling you the pain story or sharing with you a lesson is something good, I would like to dedicate that to my Jules family, to my friends, to my coworkers, to my clients, or to any living things in this world, any other world, with love, wisdom, and gratitude. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful day. Bye bye, everyone.